Welcome back, crew, to Boats vs. Haulover, a man and machine taking on Mother Nature down at Haulover Inlet, but today it's just going to be man taking on Haulover as we've had an incident occur as this young lady fell off the rocks as she was taking some pictures and has wound up right at the mouth of the inlet. Fortunately, a good Samaritan spots her and winds up jumping in the water to try and help her out because she's really struggling to swim and stay up. Now, one thing I want to forewarn about any of this before we get started, we don't always recommend that a good Samaritan gets in the water because you can find yourself in trouble, kind of like this lady does here, as she was going out thinking she was helping, but in theory she's put herself in danger as well. Our good Samaritan does make his way out to the young lady and winds up helping her stay afloat as we wait for the lifeguards from the beach to come out and lend the assist as well. Now, the one thing I want to say about this with the good Samaritan going in the water is knowing yourself and knowing your abilities in your situation. For example, me, I'm a fairly strong swimmer and want to say that I probably would have done the same thing this guy would have done. But if you're not, stay on the beach. And if you don't know where you're supposed to be, really stay out of the way. Once again, our lady who we saw earlier has found herself trapped into the rocks, being pounded by the waves into the rocks, and somebody's had to go into the water to rescue her, adding to the danger of the situation when all she really needed to do was stay on the beach if she wasn't sure where she should be or whether she was really going to be able to assist. The only time you should ever jump in to try and lend a hand on something like this is if you are 100% confident it is something you can do, and even then, you really have to question the danger you may put yourself in. After several minutes, we do have two lifeguards off the beach out here with surfboards, and our girl is absolutely exhausted, and that's where the real danger comes in these situations. The longer you have to spend out here in the water, treading water, or possibly fighting the current, you're going to find yourself absolutely wearing out. As you can tell here, everybody's back on the surfboards because they're all tired at this point in time. Now, fortunately, Beach Patrol has one of their rescue jet skis in the water, and they pull up to this crew to try and determine the best course of action. Now, of course, they're going to do the right thing here, which is try and get the person who is in the most danger back to the beach first. After sitting down and assessing the situation, it is determined that the young lady is the most exhausted out of the crew and will likely need the most assistance getting back onto the beach. So the crew all jumps in to try and transfer her from the surfboard over to the safety raft that is attached to the jet ski. After they get her transferred over, of course, one of the safety officials gets on the back with her as well because it actually does take quite a bit of effort to hold on to this platform as they battle the waves and try and make their way back to the beach. Fortunately, in this situation, we have a pretty great outcome. This could have definitely went wrong really quickly, and the crew right here winds up getting this young lady back to the beach safely. And all the other rescuers we saw in the water, this crew winds up turning around, coming back and grabbing them and bringing them back to the beach as well. So in this whole incident, everybody winds up okay, including our lady who was getting smashed against the rocks earlier, and no injuries are reported. And you'll see once they get to the beach, our young lady actually does wind up getting up and walking off under her own power, which is great news for this crew. Way to go to everybody who was involved, the good Samaritan who jumped in, and of course all of our beach lifeguards and rescue crews who jumped in to help save this lady as well. Thanks for watching, crew. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Boats vs. Haulover. If you did, please be sure to check out our other content. We have Wavy Boats, who does a bunch of great things down at the inlets. My channel, Broncos Guru, does some great comedy boating videos there as well. And of course, we've got the Miami Boat Ramps channel that focuses on all the hilarity that happens at the boat ramps in South Florida. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.